The following may contain language and subject matter which is only appropriate for some audiences. But since we're not very discriminatory here, everybody's welcome to listen. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us once again on the Low Fact Podcast. Got the same crew, you got the same idea, and we're just trying to, I don't know what we're trying to do.
What are we doing?
We're trying.
What's our plan?
Oh, dude, we're supposed to make a plan?
There is no plan. But anyway, there is a topic.
Do it.
Because, and I thought this one might get a little bit more excited buy-in, because as surprising as it may sound to all you folks out there listening, all three of us are single.
All right.
Do you think that people listen? It doesn't really probably help when people listen to the podcast, right? They're not like, oh man, I really want to date that guy.
They may.
We're an audio show, so.
But the topic for today is that whole idea about there's someone for everyone.
Ugh.
What do you guys think about that?
Was that obvious? I don't know. It's not that I've never liked the idea.
You don't think there's someone for everyone?
No, I think certain people are meant to be alone, and it's
Good
just
Lord.
it's not that they're broken or something like that. It's like there's not going to be someone for everybody, and some people prefer to stay single the rest of their life, and they're perfectly happy.
But I find that a lot of people that should be alone are never alone.
What do you mean?
You mean shouldn't be procreating?
That's a whole different argument.
I meet people in my daily life, and I'm sitting there going, I don't see how your crazy ass has a significant other, because you just ain't got nothing going on.
Crazy likes crazy.
And then you find out that these people just are constantly in relationships or hooking up and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, I don't think that I've got as little going on, and yet apparently I think the women out there do, because here I am, and there they is.
Well, you have to make an effort.
This is true. You got to try.
I do, but
I mean, you see women all the time, and you're like, oh yeah, we had a good chat, or like we had a kind of a thing going on, and then I'm like, so you're gonna pursue, like, and you're like, no.
A good chat does not make a good relationship.
Well, you don't know that unless you like make an effort.
Getting a relationship is a leap of faith. You have no idea what you get into. You just got to knock on wood, hope for the best.
I do know that when the people that I'm talking about are like significantly younger than me.
So?
Young enough to be my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Significantly younger.
Well,
there's very little. I think
there's an argument on that, but it's just not. You don't want to be in a relationship with a 20-year-old. That I can understand.
I don't think that a woman in her 20s wants to be with a guy in his late 40s.
You obviously haven't heard of sugar daddy apps.
I have, but I ain't got the sugar to attract them. So
Don't say trap.
And no,
That'll be like
attract.
the grain of sugar.
The grain of sugar.
The grain of sugar.
So I was thinking about the someone for everyone thing.
Wait, I got an idea. I got a thought about this.
Okay.
I do believe there's someone for everyone, because I'm a total romantic, and I believe that there's like fated people who have fated to be with one another.
If you're fated, then you don't need any effort anyway. So you've just discounted your previous counter argument.
I feel so strong in my argument right now. And I didn't say shit.
Well, there you go.
But it's like the whole romantic thing. I mean, there are people that when you meet them, like, you have a connection.
It's hard for me to understand. This is an emotional argument he's making, and there's no logic to it.
Well, he just
and
told
there's
you-
nothing wrong with that.
There is no logic.
There's no logic to it, so I can kind of get it. But
I mean, you haven't ever had that when you just kind of meet someone and like the
well,
bells and
I've had
whistles
it where
go off, and
it's where we've clicked, and it instantly like, oh, I can actually talk to this person. Like we communicate easily.
A lot of
but
stuff in
I don't
common.
believe in like love at first sight. That's horseshit. That's called lust at first sight. That
Sure.
I do believe in, all the time.
So this was
so you and Andy on the same page.
not necessarily,
We're a little different.
but that kind of got me to the analogy of blood types with relationships.
What's your analogy?
Well, you know about blood types, right? Is there four? A, B, AB, O. Okay, yeah, there are four. There are four blood types.
O is the universal donator, right?
I think O negative is.
Which is the weird one, AB negative?
AB negative, AB negative, AB is universal recipient.
AB negative is bad news.
AB negative is also a universal recipient, but it's really, really rare.
Okay.
So like, I think O blood type is the most prevalent.
I'm O.
I don't
but
even know my blood type.
like O negative is universal donor, right? They can give blood to anybody, but they can only get blood from O negative.
That's horrible.
So, and I think that's the way relationships are like. There are some people that would be good for everybody. Anybody. You just put them with somebody, they'll make a life with them. Then there are these like assholes, like the ABs who are basically just I guess they're kind of like relationship leeches. They can take from anybody.
Oh.
So like the O blood type person is good for anybody, but there's only certain people that are good for them. And then there's the AB type relationship person, which can take from anybody, but they're not really good for anybody except for a very small.
So the AB is going to mess up an O?
Well, if you go on direct blood analogy, yeah, if you get AB blood to an O person, they're going to die.
Oh, wow, that's a good analogy.
I kind of like that.
There's definitely people who are leeches for sure.
Yeah, but they can leech off of anybody, and that person, the AB relationship type person, in my analogy, there are people that they would be good for, and good together with. It's just very rare.
That's very optimistic of you to say.
But it's
He's
just
an
like
optimist.
it's just
That's
like
right.
it's just like the O people, right? They're going to be good with anybody, or anybody will be good with them, but there aren't that many people. But they have to find a person, another O,
Which is hard to find.
I don't know. Okay, now we're off the blood, but yeah. So on the relationship
Yeah,
stuff,
now,
right?
It's hard for them to find someone who's kind of like them.
Well, I don't know if it's kind of like them or not, but compatible is really the word that I
Compatible.
was
There
looking
you go.
for, right?
Better term.
Right. So like compatibility is not a two-way street.
It's not?
Yeah. So there are some people that are compatible with all kinds of people, right?
Right.
But they're not going to be fulfilled unless they find somebody that's compatible, that they're compatible with.
Okay, so they're picky in a way.
I don't think it has nothing to do with
Their preference.
with your preference. It has everything to do. So like I said, two-way streets. So there are people that I'm compatible with, right? And that could be plenty of people. It could be the whole world for all I care. But the people that are going to be compatible with me is a much smaller number, I believe.
Smaller pool.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, Matt over here thinks because I'm super picky about stuff. And,
Same you and food.
but I am. I will acknowledge that I'm super picky about stuff, but most of the time I just let it go.
You'll get over it.
Right.
Could you do that in a relationship?
I have. They haven't lasted very long, but I have.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I have a very few core categories of things that just there's a deal breaker. You can't mess with that.
Do you know them all, or have you ever been caught by surprise? Like, oh, this is a deal breaker, and I had no idea.
I think maybe when I was way younger, it caught me off guard.
Because I'm discovering some of those things now about myself.
But my basic deal breaker is my family.
Oh, yeah? Like if they don't like your family, then we're done?
Yeah, you can't be shitty to my family. You can't.
Oh, well, that's a solid one. I think everyone should have that one.
You can talk shit about my family. I'll probably talk shit about them with you. But if I have any feeling that your shit talk comes from a place of
Bad?
yeah, like just true, it's not even ambivalence. That's just true dislike. Then no, that's not going to happen.
That's understandable.
And so, okay, well, we're pretty close to being done. I'll let somebody get the last word in. Anybody want the last word?
Last word.
All right, last word has been said, and that's the end. Thank you for listening.
All right, thanks for tuning in to Low Fat Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Low Fact. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Low Fat Podcast. If you want to chat to us, send us some comments, or have us talk about some things, just send an email to lowfatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Twitter and Instagram pages at lowfatpodcast, and also check out Andy's pages where he mixes our beats, Twitter and Instagram at Fantasy Beat, and you can also find his wicked ass shit on SoundCloud at Artificial